how did you found Precita Eyes, and what was its main objective?
Well, it was in a very organic way, basically starting with family in a neighborhood that's called Precita Avenue, Precita Park. It's kind of a geographical area of the Mission District. And my family had just moved there, and we had just had our first son. And I just wanted to know what there was for children. Very much the playground practically didn't exist at the time. Down at the corner was a community center, and it didn't have any arts programming for kids. There's a school across the street. So I decided to volunteer my time. I'm an artist, trained painter, and I love painting. So I thought, since I'm an artist, I should share my skill with the community, and particularly with the children. So I volunteered my time at the Precita Valley Community Center, doing preschool art and after-school art with the kids, and then doing classes for adults at night in painting. You know, people just come and they are interested in participating and learning how to work with community and how to do a community mural collaborative project. So every Thursday night we would meet, and it was mainly people just volunteering and wanting to learn. And they would follow me around, when we were on a project for a couple of years before they really figured out how it all came together. Because they would come in, maybe we were in the middle of a project, and so they'd start from the middle, or somebody would come at the beginning, and then sometimes some people come at the end when we're already starting to painting or finishing up. So they have to learn each part of the steps. And everyone's volunteered, and everyone that's a staff person now started out as volunteers. And they're just very dedicated artists to community and to bringing art into the lives of the community in the schools, community centers, and it could be hospitals, homeless shelters. It could be a lot of different venues for it. And they really love doing this work, and a lot of us work with all ages, with children and with youth. And the youth program has been a very, very strong and very important part of our process too.
As a youngster, I was always interested in art, and the first time I saw a mural was at Precita Eyes, and to me that, like Susan always says, transformative. So for a lot of people, and me personally, murals were transformative because it opened you up to another possibility of creating art. So, and then I went to a more academic background, art school, and it took that away a little bit. I kind of got lost in where I fit into the art world. But I always went back to murals because it wasn't just about me, it was about the community. So as an artist, I also think I get something from working with a group of people, which is I learn more about people, the area I'm in, that specific community, but also how to better interact with people. Because sometimes I feel like artists get stuck in their own heads and are used to working solo, and it's about them, but then you forget that there's this whole other world out there. And
what is the most challenging aspect of executing so many community-based projects, because you need to execute many different people from different backgrounds and to have their different ideas on one piece of wall. So what are some of the difficulties or the most challenging?
I find it really interesting to proceed with the practice that we have, because it's very inclusive, and people feel that they are being listened to, that they're being heard, that their ideas are being considered. And the themes that are developed in the beginning of the process are really what bonds people together. Mm-hmm. And also all the ideas and the images that come together really reflect that. And if everybody, it just seems like they can all see themselves in that. And if they didn't, I think there would be issues.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, that would be a challenge. For me, that I could see how it all worked, and I could, start to help them, organize all the images and put it into a unified composition. I didn't realize that I could, that I was doing that at the time, but that's basically what we're doing when we lead a workshop. And all the people who work with Precita Eyes are taught how this practice works, and it has been successful for almost 40 years.
We imagine, even through the work you're doing here in Northeastern, that you have a way of culling down your community to a digestible amount of ideas, right? My question is more a question of how do you define your community that you're working with on a specific project?
How do I define it? I mean, they're really, to me, they're defining themselves. I'm just here and as a visitor, as a guest, and bringing this practice to them so that they can realize something beautiful for their own environment together. And I think in the process, they are the ones that select what it is that represents who they are and what makes their community. And what they're doing is they're revealing that to me. And then I'm inspired by that. And the rest of my team is inspired by that, because we would have never had this concept that's going to go up on that wall on our own. That it had to come from the community, and they define themselves very clearly what it is that they want to see.
Do you or do they, once a project is finished, get a backlash because it might be a specific set of people from a community who proclaim, this mural and this statement for the larger community, and the larger community somehow is not roped into the discussion? Has that ever occurred?
I can't. I mean, it's this is a very site-specific,
yeah, exactly.
As you
but you've
understand.
done bigger projects,
so,
exactly.
But any other projects, because I think it's basically about the Latino community students and their experiences and their values, and that's what the building should represent and express. But you can get people who might disagree with something. But then once they begin to understand what it is, it's like we did this design for a mural on the front of the public swimming pool, for instance. And it had nudes. It was a family. It was a family, man, woman, children, baby. The art commission says, well, we don't know about the nudity, but if you could take the design to every unit that's going to be looking at the wall every day, and you can get 60% of them to agree,
you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. So we took it around and we did that, and then there would be someone that would come by. They agreed with it. The thing is that they said, oh, you can't put the nudes up on the wall. I said, well, this is a family tree. Oh, well, then they have to be nude. So you get, once they understand what it is,
you got to do a lot of talking. Yeah.
So then it's okay now.
I guess my first question was going to be, what was the most fun project that you ever did, right?
Oh, they're all fun.
The one that I know, obviously, but the one that comes to mind, you might all have different ones, right?
Yeah.
In terms of that.
I'd say a high point was probably going up to Klamath and working with the indigenous community there. They had along the Klamath is it's their ancient salmon run, which runs right through there, and then there's a series of dams that.
Is this Northern California?
Northern Cali.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So this is the top shelf of California, beautiful region, beautiful area, and it was with the Yurok and Karuk and Hupa. They're the three tribes, three indigenous tribes that share the river there, and the river is about 250 miles, and there's 4 dams that run through it that are set up within that range, and what's his name? Warren Buffett is actually it's one of his corporations that owns the series of dams, and it was a water rights project through Estria Foundation, and it was a series of like 12 murals that surrounded water rights issues throughout the world, and this was one of them. And there was several others throughout, like South Central America and the Southeast Asia. But ultimately, it's about livelihoods. It's about family. It's about community. It's about language. Our indigenous peoples, not just in this country but throughout the world, have lost their way of life. And it's something to always kind of keep, in the forefront. We have Columbus Day coming up in a couple days, and it's Indigenous Peoples Day to some.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And all that could really come from that is beauty, and more of an understanding or even an overstanding of values or principles, or what you might think but you really don't know. You really don't know until you
do it.
till you know it.
Do you all sort of agree with that, or have different?
what was Elaine's happy
happy time.
Oh, well, no, I totally agree with this.
I had a feeling he could keep going with
Yeah,
that.
he can.
I guess my favorite project recently was a mural that started with a lot of people not wanting a mural.
That's interesting.
Because it was like an area of San Francisco that doesn't have a lot of murals, and we got invited to do the project, and Susan asked me to work on it with one of our other artists. And when we went to the community meeting, a lot of people were like, I don't want to see this, I don't want to see this, I don't want a mural.
Start off with negativity, right?
I don't like murals. So it was all like what people didn't want to see. So we had a big challenge because we were like, okay, we know what people don't want to see. How do we create a mural?
But at least they gave you the negative space. Now you just have to work on the positive
so
space.
people were like, can't you just paint like big flowers, or can't you just do this? And so we were like, well, that's not our process. Like, our process is taking your ideas and putting them into, an image that everybody's going to be happy with. And the cool thing about it was we did work with different groups in that neighborhood, and some were more receptive to it. So we did take all those ideas and we came up with a design, and nobody opposed it.
So that was the big success.
Yeah,
That's why you were like.
and actually they want to extend it. So
Yeah.
like we got a grant to extend it some more. So that's what's cool about the mural process, is that you may get people that would be opposed to something, but they are transformed when they see the end result.
With the last question, if there was one thing you guys, as Precita Eyes and as 4 different people, would like to be known for as Precita Eyes, if it was a phrase or a statement or a word, what would it be in terms of your legacy? What would that word or statement be?
I don't know, bringing community mural art and culture to the people.
There we go.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. What would you say? What did you say?
Yeah.
Maybe in one word.
One word.
I'd say, I think the academic term is agency. Just
Agency, that's right. Yeah.
yeah, continue to like provide facilitation in the voicing of the interests and concerns of our community.
Of others. Yeah.
Yeah, so agency.
Agency. Well, I think we've run out of questions. I hope it wasn't too taxing for you guys.
Not at all. No, thank you. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Well, thanks for having us, and thanks for letting us ask you all these questions. I hope you're not too tired and you can get back to work.